There's an old saying, never judge a book by its cover. This is the story of a man who walked into a luxury car dealership and was met with scorn. But what happened next? No one saw it coming. The car dealership was a temple of luxury, a shrine to horsepower and precision engineering. Towering glass walls framed the sleek million-dollar vehicles within, shining under the soft glow of showroom lights. Salesmen in tailored suits milled about, whispering among themselves, their conversations punctuated by polite laughter and the occasional clink of an espresso cup against fine china. The air was thick with the scent of leather, wealth, and exclusivity, and then he walked in. Casually dressed in a plain shirt and jacket and sporting sunglasses, the man strolled past the showroom's entrance. There was an ease in his movement, a quiet confidence, yet something about him remained, unassuming. Had Jason, the young salesman by the counter, been more perceptive, he might have recognized the effortless grace, the calculated movements, the unmistakable presence of a man used to being in control. But Jason was not a man who looked beyond the surface. No, Jason was a man who saw only what glittered. The young salesman barely looked up from his phone as the newcomer approached. With an air of mild disinterest, Jason exhaled and straightened his tie. "Can I help you?" he asked, his tone hovering between politeness and irritation. The man smiled. His voice, smooth and deliberate, carried no urgency. "Yeah, I'd love to check out your latest luxury sedan. Heard it's a beauty." Jason raised an eyebrow. His gaze flickered over the man's attire, the casualness of his presence. "A nobody, sir," Jason said, choosing his words carefully. "This car isn't exactly for everyone. It starts at just under 300 grand. The man tilted his head, his lips curving slightly, not in offense, but amusement. "Oh," he mused. "And what makes you think I can't afford it?" Jason exhaled through his nose, smirking. "Look, I see guys like you all the time. People who want to sit inside, take a couple of selfies, and pretend for a few minutes. These aren't test drive models for fun. They're for serious buyers." A beat of silence. A few customers turned their heads, sensing the tension. The man simply smiled. A small, knowing smile. "Tom?" A voice rang out from across the showroom. Jason turned, frowning as he watched the dealership's general manager, Mr. Davis, hurrying toward them with the urgency of a man approaching royalty. Jason's stomach dropped. The man turned, his smile widening as Mr. Davis extended his hand with an enthusiasm rarely seen. "Mr. Cruz, what a pleasure to have you here." Jason's world tilted on its axis. "Cruz?" Jason's eyes darted back to the man in the sunglasses. And now that he was really looking, he saw it. The unmistakable chiseled jawline, the magnetic presence, the effortless charm that had graced so many movie screens. It was Tom Cruise, the Hollywood icon, and Jason had just insulted him. Jason's confidence shattered like glass. "Wait. You know him?" he croaked, his voice barely above a whisper. Mr. Davis chuckled. "Know him? Of course. Tom has been one of our best clients for years. He has an entire collection of our finest vehicles. He practically helped launch our last model." Jason felt the walls closing in as Tom turned back to him with a stern gaze. "You see, Jason," Tom said, "people who truly have money, we don't need to prove it. We don't need to wear designer labels or throw our wealth in people's faces." Jason swallowed hard, his face burning with humiliation. Tom exhaled, shaking his head slightly. "I came in here today planning to buy 2 cars. Jason's heart slammed against his ribs. 2 luxury cars. That would have been the biggest sale of his career. Tom paused. "But I don't do business with people who don't respect others and judge them purely based on appearances." Jason felt the words like a punch to the gut. "I'll take my business elsewhere." And then, in a moment that would be burned into Jason's memory forever, Tom turned, not to him, but to a younger, polite salesman who had been watching in stunned silence. "Can you assist me?" Tom asked, a warm smile playing at the corners of his lips. The young man's face lit up. "Absolutely, Mr. Cruz." Jason could only watch, utterly defeated, as Tom Cruise walked away, sealing a deal worth more money than Jason had seen. Some mistakes are irreversible. Some moments teach unforgettable lessons. Because true power, true wealth, it isn't flashy suits or loud displays of money. It is grace, dignity, character. And that is priceless. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, showing kindness and respect costs nothing, but can mean everything. Thanks for watching.